Hello everyone, my name is Asisipho and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, guys, I want us to answer this question from a previous question paper. This is a human reproduction question. So we're given a diagram that is showing us a fetus that is developing here. So this is basically showing us the membranes, the placenta, the umbilical cord together with the umbilical vessels, which is umbilical artery and umbilical vein. Identify part D. Where is part D? There is part D, which is a membrane. Okay, so part D is the chorion. Then the second question is asking us to state two functions of the fluid which we find in part C. So there is fluid in part C. It's actually, okay, let me not overanalyze it. It is the fluid in C. So two functions of that fluid. It acts as a shock absorber. That's the amniotic fluid. Acts as a shock absorber. Another function of that fluid, it prevents dehydration, or we can say desiccation. It prevents desiccation. It facilitates free movement. It allows the fetus to move freely. Allows fetus to move freely. We can also talk about it keeping the temperature, that fluid ensuring that the temperature is kept within a certain range or a narrow range, but they just asked us for two, so any two functions. Remember, guys, if they ask you for two functions, just give two, don't give more than two. If they ask you to state one, whatever, just state that one, don't give more than one, please. Okay, 1 point, well, it's actually not 1 point, it's 16.3 in this particular revision booklet. Describe, we need to describe for 4 marks. Describe the development of the zygote, how the zygote develops until implantation occurs. Remember, guys, the zygote will develop as a result of the sperm cell's nucleus fusing with the egg cell's nucleus. So the sperm cell's nucleus will fuse with the nucleus of the ovum to form the zygote. And then the zygote is going to divide by mitosis. Remember, we're talking about the development of a zygote up until implantation occurs. Now, this zygote is then going to undergo mitosis. So this zygote is going to divide by mitosis in order to form a ball of cells, which is called a morula. So it is going to divide by mitosis to form a ball of cells called the morula. And this morula will also basically continue to divide by mitosis to form the blastula. So we say morula, which develops into a hollow ball of cells called the blastula. You can say blastula or blastocyst is the same thing, blastocyst. Until implantation, which is going to then embird itself, which will embird or implant. Let's just say it will implant, which will implant itself in the uterine lining. Okay. So we know that the zygote will undergo mitosis to form morula. Even at that stage, guys, mitosis will continue in those cells up until we have this blastula or blastocyst. Okay, State 2 ways in which Part A functions in protecting the developing fetus. State 2 ways. I want us to break down the question, guys. We need to understand exactly what the question is asking from us. We need to state 2 ways, okay, in which Part A functions in protecting the developing fetus. What is Part A? Okay, I see what Part A is. That is the placenta, right? So we're basically talking about how the placenta functions in protecting the fetus that is developing in the uterine lining. All right. So the first way is that it is going to protect the fetus against pathogens. So it will act as a microfilter. That's the first one. Act as a microfilter to protect the fetus against pathogens. It will also help in producing antibodies. It will produce antibodies. I'm running out of space. It can also maintain the endometrium. It will continue to secrete hormone progesterone to maintain the endometrium. Wow. Wowzies. To maintain the endometrium. And also we can talk about it removing harmful metabolic waste, obviously. Yeah, I think that's all the correct answers. Remember, guys, to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It is free. It's more like following someone on Instagram or on TikTok. You just hit that subscribe button. That's it. You don't have to pay in order to be subscribed to my channel, guys. Please like the video, share it with your friends, classmates, schoolmates, and also please comment down below. We need to identify blood vessel B. There is blood vessel B. So blood vessel B is transporting whatever blood from the mother to the fetus. So mother to the fetus. We can see from the arrows, it's saying mother this side and there's a fetus this side. So this particular one, which is B, will obviously be transporting all the good stuff. So that is oxygenated blood together with nutrients from the mother to the fetus. That will be the umbilical vein. Okay, then last question. We need to describe. 3 marks. Describe how the nutrition of a human fetus differs from that of an oviparous organism. So we need to describe how the nutrition basically differs. One of a human fetus compared to an oviparous organism. So what we know already is that in humans, the fetus will receive nutrients from the mother's blood, right? And it will receive these nutrients through the placenta, or specifically the umbilical vein. In oviparous organisms, the embryo receives the nutrients from the yolk. Okay, that's exactly what we know. So we need to be specific here. So let's talk about humans first, then we'll talk about the oviparous organisms. So in humans, the developing fetus, and don't use the word baby, guys. The baby. Let's use keywords. Is it a zygote at that stage? Is it an embryo? Is it a fetus? What is it? Don't use the word baby. So in humans, the developing fetus receives nutrients from the mother's blood. You could have said from the mother's blood. Okay, I don't think there's another option. For the mother's blood, via or through the placenta. Or you could have said through the umbilical vein. Then in oviparous organisms, the developing embryo receives nutrients from the yolk.